Hi everybody, it's Debbie here and welcome back to My Crafty Dan. Thanks for joining me on the channel today. I am working on my 12 Days of Christmas ornaments, and today I am going to do something with these are the wooden plant labels that I got at Dollarama for $1.25. So if you can find anything like this, I imagine these are pretty cheap everywhere. Now these ones in particular are 12-inch long stakes, and I love that they're that big, but they're also 1.25 inches wide, which is amazing. So they're a good size to do a lot of different things with, and they are pretty flexible. You can't like bend them in half or anything like that, but they're pretty flexible. And I want to turn these into ornaments today. So along with these, I am going to use some of my, let me pull this over here, some of my beads here. So I'm going to use, I have all different sizes in here, sorry for the noise, but I have these littler ones. These ones I have, these ones are kind of a gold finish. I really do like these. They're kind of a rose gold paint on top of, I think I painted some of these, I can't remember, and didn't use them all. So I've already started doing some of these. You can tell by my hands, can't you? So what else do I have in here? This size here is pretty good, this size here, and I can paint these. They're pretty easy to paint. So I am going to, I'm trying to think what color I want these to be. I might paint some of these beads red. Yeah, I might paint some of them red. I love the traditional red and white at Christmas with a little bit of green mixed in. So I might do some of these red, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. So the first thing I'm doing is taking these plant stakes. You can tell when I craft, I just get some, I have kind of an idea, never very much of an idea, but kind of. I'm just using white acrylic paint from the dollar store. You can buy acrylic paint in these little 2 and 4 ounce bottles almost anywhere. So with a makeup sponge, I put a little bit too much paint on this one, so let's get some on the next one. I'm just going up and down. This will do both sides. Don't forget to do your edges. And you'll have to touch these up a little more because I'm going to cut them after I paint them. It's just easier to paint them when they're all in one piece instead of a whole bunch of little pieces. So I'm going to paint that one and just set it over here to dry. I'm going to paint this one, and I think 4 of these is going to be enough for what I want to do today. Okay, so for the second part of this, I strung my beads onto a skewer, just a dollar store skewer, and these are the skinny skewers, so these little beads will fit on them. And I have this paint that I picked up at, I'm going to say Dollar Tree, just recently, because I haven't used this one yet, and it's called Holiday Red. Previously, I was using this one called Bright Red, but you can see the difference. The Bright Red, this Holiday Red is so much deeper, and I have a lot of this red and black buffalo check this year, and this kind of is darker to go with that. So I am going to use this to paint these beads. I'm just going to put some out on here, and I'm just going to use this old, it's a splayed paintbrush, and I am going to start just going down these. Now I chose, of all the beads that were in that bunch, I specifically chose the darker brown ones because I knew that I'd probably only have to give these beads 1 coat of paint if I did. So it covers pretty good when there's a dark background. So keep that in mind if you have a choice of what kind of beads you're going to use when you're painting them, that you want to, if you're going to paint white, try the light blonde beads. And if you're going to paint dark, try the darker beads. And so these, I'm going to paint these, and I'm going to let everything dry for a couple of hours. Then I'm going to assemble these and show you the finished product. Well, I'll show you how I assembled them and the finished product. I think that you're going to like this idea. So this is Pinterest inspired, but not exactly as the one that I saw. I'm not sure what the one that I saw was made out of. Now keep in mind, you could probably, if you can't find those garden stakes, you could probably use something like the big wide craft sticks, the large sized ones. Well, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to stick them over here. I've just got a piece of foam over there, so I'm just stuck them into the piece of foam, and I'm going to let them dry. So that's everything prepped, like painted, that I'm going to need for this project. So the paint has dried on these garden stakes, and this is what I'm making out of them. This is my oldest grandson. His name is Matthew. So all I have done to make this was I just took a Color Factory. I got this. It's a brush marker that I got from Dollar Tree. So anybody can pick this up. And the first thing I did, you don't have to do this, but I put a hole at the top of the stick, or the stake, just like this, but I used my chopper here, and it's the heavy duty hole punch, and it only punches a small hole like this. So if you don't have a punch that'll go through this balsa wood, then I wouldn't even bother. I would just use hot glue to put the hanger on. So for the hanger, I took just a chenille stem, and I am going to use a gold one this time, I think. It doesn't matter. The color choice is just whatever you want. And I'm going to fold it right in half like this. I'm going to take a little piece at the top here that I'm going to use for my hanger. And I am going to twist this right here. Just like this. But I'm going to twist it around to make a little knot. To make a little knot. Then I'm going to take one of my wood beads and put those together so that they'll go in the hole. And I'm going to put one of the redwood beads on here, just like that. And another one. Ooh, some of them aren't quite dry. That's okay. I don't mind getting a little bit of paint on my hands. And one more. So I'm just using 3. Just like that. Then I'm going to take the chenille stem, just one of them, and put it through that hole. Oh, first I'm going to write on it because it's hard to write on afterwards. So I'm going to take my old, I'll start with the oldest and I'll work my way down, I guess. So Victoria. And all I'm doing is using the, I call it the Ray Dunn font, the skinny font, because it's so easy to just freehand. So V-I-C-O R I, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's close enough. So Victoria. And then I'm going to take my scissors. I'm just going to cut off the excess Any scissors will cut through these. I mean, they are really thin little sticks. I guess I should just go get my kitchen scissors and it would be so much easier. But once this is done and dry, I'm just going to take a sanding block. I don't have it with me in here. I'm just going to take a sanding block like that, go along and touch the ends up with a little bit of paint. But I'm going to put this on here like that. I'm going to bring it right up to the block like this, so that, or the bead, so that the bead and the board are right close together. And then at the back, I can just twist this a couple of times, just like that. Then I can cut off the excess, or I can leave it on there if I want to. But in this case, I think I'm going to cut it off. And on the front of this one, I'm taking these little decorative bells that I got from the Dollar Tree. There were 16 of them in here for $1.25. So that's just an awesome price. I'm just going to take the gold one or the red one. Which one do I want on here? Do I want the gold or do I want a red one? The red's kind of sparkly compared to that. So I think I'll just go with the gold one. Now you could paint these white, change the colors of them if you wanted to. I have paint all over me. Not sure where I'm getting it from. But yeah, I have paint all over me. So I'm going to take my hot glue. I'm going to put some on the back of this. Just a little dab. And then I'm going to put it down here and hold it on the back of this. Just hold it like that. So I have a little bell. And I am going to make one of these for each of my grandchildren so that I can put them on my Christmas tree. So that's it. That is my craft ornament for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to finish making these up, and before I go, like, I mean, you don't have to make them just like this. You don't have to make them just like this. You could make them with longer beads. You could, if you don't have grandchildren, what about putting Dasher, Prancer, Donner, Vixen, you know, all the reindeers' names on here? What about putting hope, peace, faith, believe, things like that on here? So I just chose to do them as my grandchildren's names, and because of that, these will be dear to me. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to comment and share, and let me know what you would put on here. Comment down below what you'd put on these little wooden ornaments. And yeah, you could also decorate them. I'm using bells, but you can also decorate them with little bits of holly and berries or little sprigs of greenery. You could use jute on here. I'm making them like this because I do kind of like the chenille stems. I wish I had the chenille stems that weren't metallic right now, but this will do. It's fine. The little bit of extra sparkle in the tree will catch off the light. And I'm not sure, but these are flat. That paint dried fairly flat on those beads, and I'd like them to be a little bit more shiny. So I might just take a brush and just go over this with a little bit of top coat to give it a shine. There's all kinds of things that you can do with this. So yeah, just use your imagination. Hope you liked this idea, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And by all means, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and join my channel. I'd really appreciate it. So bye-bye for now, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and happy crafting.